All right, we are back. Another weekly scores update. Hair in my glasses. So this stuff was up on Facebook Marketplace Thursday. I messaged him like, "Hey, he's like, he had these cute pictures, just cute pictures, little labels over them, a bunch of this stuff. Said it was in good shape. Said he's basically taking offers at this point. So I'm like, dude, I'll give you $100, thinking he'd say no, thinking it's a real low ball offer. But he came back, he's like, ugh, at this point, yeah, I guess I'll just take it. I just gotta get this stuff out of the way. He said for everything but these new cassettes. He didn't want to part with those for that cheap. I'm like, okay. And I brought extra money. I was going to see if I could talk him into the new cassettes or check them out. But he was this stuff was just packed in the front of his house. Like in the driveway, he was like clearly packing up for him and his wife to go do something. They wanted to get out of the house. So I didn't even bother. I didn't even look through it at all. Just loaded in my car, drove off. It was like a half-hour drive there. Everything went wrong. I was out of gas and had to stop and get gas. My brake light was out of my car, so I went and bought a new bulb for my brake light and thought I'd just change that real quick in the parking lot of the store. But no, the socket was all full of corrosion and the little contact points were like mangled in the plastic and touching. So I brought it back here and spent a whole bunch of time scraping the contact points and then get a little emery cloth in there and sanding them and then trying to wiggle in the little housing, get the contact points to not touch, and then get some dilated grease on there and then get the bulb in there to hold them in place so the contact points don't touch again. So, problem solved once and for all. Probably really need to replace the socket for the taillight, but whatever. So got that done, and then had to use Google because he was like 3 suburbs over. It was like way out in Tigard. It's like a 35-minute drive on the freeway. I got out there and Google put me in a parking lot of a bank nearish his house. But luckily I was a mailman for a long time, and I've started to figure out some of these horrible suburbs a little bit. So I sort of went around a few blocks and came and crept up. And yeah, he was like a half a block over on the backside, when nothing goes through. You have to go wind through some suburbs and ignore some cul-de-sacs and come up and around and hidden in a flag lot, between 2 houses. Doesn't look like there's another house behind him. But I found it. I got all this stuff. He was in a hurry to get out, so I threw it in the car. Didn't even look at it a little bit. All the stuff could be completely mangled and worn out. I could have just thrown $100 in an hour of my life away. We will find out. So let's go through all this stuff. It's Saturday morning now, so I haven't even gone to Sunday sales yet. I'll do that tomorrow. On the way back from buying all this stuff, I swung by the old Goodwill bins because I could not help myself. And guess what I found there? Just in a big pile of clothes. A brand new, unused, with all the hardware, Topeak Explorer rack. I think these are like $70 new. I could be wrong. The last one of these, my mom gave me. She ordered it and forgot to return it. She loves buying stuff online. And I think I put it up for $35 and got it in like a day. This one has a few chips in the paint from banging around, a few scratches, but it's never been installed. It's got all the hardware, got the original tag, so I spent 14 whole bucks at Goodwill. I got this, got some shirts, I got some CDs, I got some more little plastic bins for organizing and storing bike parts. So if I can get 25 or $30 for this, that'll cover my whole trip. It's always exciting. I love the bins. I also got some like little solar panel lights you can mount on a fence or a walkway or whatever for outside. They only charge 69 cents a pound for electronics. It's free, brand new in the box. Pretty cool stuff. I got some cool shirts. I got some cool stuff. I love the bins. I always get cool stuff I don't have room for and stuff into every corner of everything. But let's check this stuff out. I'm kind of excited. It looked like there's some good stuff in here. The first thing is a tall, ugly, dropped several times. There's like a big scuff line right here from it sliding all the way down and being ridden on, putting all the way in the frame. People always get the tallest seat posts ever to slam into a frame that fits too big. But yeah, it's a 27.2 generic post. This looks a lot like the post that Velo Orange sells, like a knockoff of a Ritchie. Whatever, scruffy, generic 27.2 silver post. Not exciting at all. At all. What else we got? Okay, ooh. Ooh, here are some Soma brake levers. These are basically these Tektros, but they say Soma on them. The logos are clean. The hoods are clean. They're not scuffy at all. They've never been wrecked on or dropped. These are pretty nice. Oh, the camera is kind of really far away, huh? These are pretty nice. They've definitely been used, but like barely. Those are worth 20 or 30 bucks, really. A dirty, but the pulleys, the upper one's got a little bit of wear. The bottom one's pretty good. Very dirty. Barely, I mean a little scruffy. Shimano 600 tricolor rear derailleur. Alright, I love this tricolor stuff. People love this tricolor stuff. It sells real easy and well. It's good to use on stuff. A front tricolor 28.6 clamp on. Totally nice. I'm going to move this camera closer. It's just too far. Alright, that's better. I'm going to show off some stuff. A U-lock strap. No one cares. A heavy steel special Sakai SR bar. It's a handlebar. It's made out of steel. It's heavy and it's 39. It's narrow. This is just going right in the recycling. Nobody wants that for any reason at all. Here is a Shimano 600 crank, so it's earlier than the tricolor stuff. It's like 6207. Yeah, 170, 6207. Someone put a stamped 42 inner ring in. The outer ring looks a little scruff. SG53. I wonder if this is the stock outer ring. It's got a plastic Sun Tour dust cap in there. The pedal threads look pretty good. What do we... Oh, don't make me get up and get a tool. Ah, this dust cap's really in there. As some of you may or may not know, a cone wrench is the correct tool for these old dust caps. You take the side of it, a nice round flat side, and put it in there. You can usually get these things loose without them chipping and breaking to pieces. Oh, my blanket is getting covered in dirt. Good times. Generic crank bolt. Threads look alright. Tapers look alright. They don't even look blown out. Looks like there's still several millimeters from where the BB spindle fits in. Like they're not, spindle isn't pushed all the way through. So that's a pretty cute crank. I mean, I could probably get 40 bucks for these cranks. This one's been hammered on the back a little bit. Don't hammer your cranks off with a pickle fork. That's not real. It doesn't work. Use a crank puller. Just go buy one. Stop being such a cheap broke ass. You will use that crank puller 1,000 times. It is worth the 15 bucks. This has a Sagino plastic dust cap. Oh, I don't know. This taper, it looks a little mangled on the backside. A little blown out. That is usually from riding on the cranks loose. It usually means the whole crank is blown out and will not go on. It could be from trying to force these cranks off without the right puller or something. There's a chance, whenever I put these cranks on, that they might come loose. But usually they look a lot worse than that. This is just like the last millimeters blown out. So I do not know. I might put these cranks up for sale with close pictures of that, see if anyone cares. I might try and put them on a bike and ride them. The non-drive side crank is more notorious for coming loose and blowing out. Most old mechanics will tell you after you test ride a bike, after you build it for the first time, or go put 100 miles on it or a day or two on it, come back and double check just this crank bolt for the non-drive. Because you do not want to blow them out. Because if they come loose, they'll wobble on that taper and blow out that taper, and then they'll never stay tight again. You tighten them down all you want. They will come loose in a minute or an hour or a day. Huh. Another Chinelli old logo stem with the alloy bolt and wedge. Cray. I've never seen this exact one. It's a black alloy bolt. The gold alloy wedge with like a rib nut or something inside of it. A little bit of rust in the front of the stem. But it's old logo, Chinelli Milan. Old logo. It doesn't just say Chinelli in 80s font. The old logo stuff's way more valuable. Made in Italy. It's not very short, which makes it less valuable. But it's pretty cool. We'll play with it, and I mean it's not very scuffy anywhere that shows. And then we can clean this little rust off the chrome with a little brass brush. Just barely give it a scrub, and that rust will disappear. It is acting weird. I don't know. We'll play with it. This might be the wrong bolts and stuff. I don't know. Other people's used stuff is always an issue. It's always mangled and missing parts and a real drag. I should stop buying it. Pay more money for it. So Shimano 600 tricolor down tube shifters. With this one's complete, so the index one is complete. It doesn't say which, so it might be 7 or 8 in this year. Oh, this one's all complete too. It's even got the little dust seals, got little dust caps, light action. Does that say 6400? Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, cuties. Alright. These down tube shifters are worth 30 or 40 bucks. Here is a used, unlabeled, probably like an RPM bottom bracket, but it's got the cup. And if you saved it, there's a good chance, it's so dirty, it's a good chance that it's, you know, like, not totally dead. Probably for these 600 cranks. Alright, that's one bin, that's fun. I'll make my money back just selling this stuff if the stuff I might keep, because all this other stuff is ugly and boring and modern. It's way more likely to get sold. Slightly scruffy Cannondale, probably 27.2 seat post. Prorogo. Weird modern-y seat I don't care about. Seat post I don't care about. Pro 2. But the seat's not been wrecked on or scruffed or terrible. It's good for somebody or something. Another seat post. This is a pretty clean seat post. It's a Kona. It's not light, but it's real tall, which people like. It's probably 27.2. It's got the little saddle clamp, these like double bolt style ones. The little bottom clamp falls out all the time, and you just can't get them. They make them, none of them are standard. You can go dig through 50 of these at a used bike parts bin, and none of them will actually match like the curve of your seat with the rail width or anything. So that's good. That's pretty nice. Someone's gonna want that. This is part of the reason why I offered the whole $100, because he had, I believe, 2. We'll see as we go. Shimano 105 10-speed stuff in there. Can't really feel those clicks, but it comes back. One, two, three. There might have been might be a trim click in there, so this might be a 3. These look scruffy, but it actually just looks like some dried on white goo or something. They might be a little scruffy. Shimano 105 10-speed drifters, maybe 3x10, maybe 2x10 with trim clicks. And a Cannondale stem and a Cannondale bar. Probably no one wants, but they're wide. They're long. We'll see. Someone might want them. People like Cannondales. Ooh, here's kind of a cool thing. A vintage San Marco saddle. It's got like the black chrome rails. It's got a real leather top. Squadra. A little scruffy, but not too scruffy. It's like the right amount of scruffy for like a fixed gear or something beater. This is kind of a really cool little saddle. I'm actually into that. And an All City saddle. You'd think these would be worth money, even though it's just the stock saddle because it's branded All City. People are drunk on All City stuff. Maybe they're getting over it. All City just announced they're going to stop making bikes and slowly phase out of business over the next 10 years, but keep making replacement parts for a little while. Probably that's why their stock's up. It's just a cheap Velo saddle. I usually get 15 bucks for these. I want 20 for them, and it's impossible to get. Here is it's also a Velo saddle. It's just like a foam. It really reminds me of the PDW saddles. Maybe they just buy these Velo saddles and put their logo on them because I don't see their logo anywhere. But it's just like a foam with like a waterproof rubber top. All black, real basic and plain. Not wrecked on, in good shape. These are great for building little fixed bikes and fixed gear bikes and city bikes and stuff because you can just I love vinyl saddles because Oregon, it rains all the time. You can just take the backside of your hand and just squeegee the water off right to the dry butt. It's very nice. Here's an XLC. This is a Seattle like bike supply who's defunct now. It was like their home brand, and they hired a guy here in Portland who was a super cool guy. He used to come to my shop all the time, and we ended up buying a lot of our stuff from them because he was always around and showing us samples and giving us discounts and getting us to actually buy instead of never showing up and only trying to push us carrying stuff we didn't want to carry. And like, he was cool working with little shops. This is the ugliest thing I've ever seen. Here's an FSA Gossamer. Oh, this is labeled BB30. Look how fat that spindle is. BB30 crank. Oh, there's definitely a little bit of mangling on this crank taper. I don't know, one of them a little bit. That might be just shop wear. BB30 Road Double 175. I mean, it's so wide it could be a mountain. I don't know. Let's see. 34 tooth by 110 inner FSA ring. That's in good shape. That's my favorite size. I get 13 or 14 bucks for these on eBay all day long. I don't even want to sell them. They sell so easy. It's probably for this thing. It's probably a compact double road thing. Probably came on a Cannondale with all this 105 stuff. Here is a used chainring in a race face bag. It is an Originate 42 tooth with the cool 110, 130 BCD, the double BCD. It's very BMX-y. I got a very single speedy. I've got a bunch of these. No one really cares. This is a good size, though. I'll use this on a fixed gear, or it'll be easy to sell because it's a good size. Oh, more chain rings. I love me some chain rings. Another very clean, very nice, generic, small. Oh, there's some logos. I think that's FSA. 36 tooth 110, tight. And then this outer one is a 46 FSA for 10-11 speed. 46, 36. So a nice little pair of barely worn rings. This is probably what came on these FSA cranks. Let's see if the rest of this FSA stuff is in here. I think it was in the pictures. A Bone Traeger, kind of long, kind of flat black, barely positive rise, mountain bike stem, boring. The logo's mostly worn off. Someone might care. A lot of this stuff's probably going to end up in the free box, but there's enough good stuff. I keep telling myself there's enough good stuff if it's not all totally worn out and dead. One of these horrible, horrible sunlight racks that are only 12 bucks new, so everyone's always buying them. I used to stock these at my shop, and these little L brackets were stainless steel, and they look like the strongest thing on these racks, and they would break, and these racks would fall on people's front wheels. They're just junk. I don't recommend them. They switched to these alloy ones, and I don't know, maybe they're not breaking. Got little spacers on those. Spacers are probably the most valuable thing. I love me some little spacers. But I don't know. I'll put it up on Facebook Marketplace for 10 bucks if anyone cares. Shimano front derailleur. Looks like a 31.8 with the 28.6 spacers. It looks like the cyclocross one. Yeah, XC70. So cyclocross one, which is often compact. It looks top pole only. Yeah, top pole only. So that's a eBay thing. I know what you're thinking if you watch my Sunday Scores videos or Sunday Salvage Sales videos. I could have got all this stuff at the Salvage Sales and paid like 20 bucks. Still a lot. It's still a lot. Well, the wheels, they charge $10 a wheel, so it'd be another 40 bucks if any of these wheels are any good. Here is the 105 short cage rear derailleur, missing the barrel adjuster. Why? Don't pull your stuff apart, God. Missing the barrel adjuster, no bead tension, very lightly used. So no wear on these pulleys. A little bit of chain rub, a little bit of scruffs. It's definitely dropped it once. There's a very good chance it's fine. It's a very good chance. We'll see. I probably have a barrel adjuster. These pedals were interesting. What's this? Oh, this is a aluminum dropper seat post thing with a barrel adjuster. Alright. Unbranded, but kind of nice. I guess I'll put it up on eBay for 20 bucks, see if anyone cares. So these are Sakai SX, so old Sakai, but they're like track pedals. Bearings feel good. They got little toe cages. This is kind of exciting. I'm going to build a little bike. And these would probably be perfect pedals for it. Little black. Is that bent or are they supposed to be like that? It's supposed to be like that. So yeah, little black track cages, vintage Sakai pedals. These are cool. Chromo spindles. These are nice. Got the old Christoface straps and toe cages. Got a dork flector. That's good stuff. Here's something else I was excited about. So these are Tiagra double 10-speed flat bar shifters. Way cooler than drifters. No one cares about drifters. The flat bars are cool. I'm always getting Tiagra 10-speed derailleurs. I built a bike around these. I needed a set of these a while ago for a build, and they were, like $100 brand new. Could not find them used. So I love getting this stuff and having it sit around. I'll do a cool 1x10 flat bar bike or a 2x10 flat bar bike. Oh, here's another set of shifters. I don't see the other one yet. I'll set them aside for now. All right. Set of Tektro brakes I've never seen before. Big, weird Tektro logo. The rear one is not exactly matching. A smaller, weird Tektro logo. They're the same barrel adjusters. They're the same reach. They have a weird little machined-in vent hole. They have reusable pad holders with 90% brand new pads. So these are a takeoff of something, probably like Cannondale. Why the logos don't match, I do not know. Weird big logo. Weird front vent hole. Looks like a Cylon. I'm rewatching Battlestar Galactica. Everything's reminding me of that. Set of cheapy Liche drop bar levers that are missing one of the band clamps. Unless that's in here, these are recycling. No one cares. Another seat clamp. I just gave away my whole bag of seat clamps. Says hoard and hoard and hoard. Never use. Gave them all away at my big free pile at the garage sale. So maybe I'll start a new free pile. Oh, here is the other FSA crank. It's got the dusty cappy adjustery bolt. 4 double, 175, BB30. At least it's all labeled, I know what it is, and at least it's all completes. So I can put them up for sale on the internet. Ask 30 or 40, we'll see. Here's a set of scruffy Tektro levers that look like you used to have a bell mount on it that's broken off. So, not sexy. Real dusty. This guy's doing some woodworking in his shop or something. Real scruffy. And I think they're definitely V-brake levers. I don't think anyone's going to care. Maybe someone will care. Going for $10. Here's the other shifter. So it's this set of... It's missing the barrel adjuster. God, people love just taking a barrel adjuster out of something. Making it functionally valueless. So here, they're scruffy, micro shift, 9-speed. Ooh, I love that. This one's got the little rubber boot, super chewed up and off, but you can get these for micro shift. I think Tomcat stocks them. The other one's got the boot, but it's side specific, it looks like. I'll just put it on backwards. I might pull this boot off and super glue it on here, or go to Tomcat and get one and glue it on here and have a nice 9-speed shifter, a micro shift with a red anode top. I was going to say if my shifting problems don't go away on my Terry, I could put this shifter on. But they kind of really did go away. That's cool. Little Tektro front cable hanger. Couple of bar end mirrors. No one cares. Crappy bike Nash bar with no return spring and the wrong hardware. This is just going right in the recycling. Okay. This is something I was kind of excited about. Leotard. Oh, they're always missing the damn dust caps. I think I have a really scruffy Leotard pedal set sitting around for the dust caps, the steel one. This is an aluminum bodied Leotard pedal. I am guessing it is French thread. It is not stamped. These are a little bit long though. Sometimes the French thread ones are real short. I bet these are French thread. I think I want these for those old French Sagino, those old French strong light cranks I got the last week's garage sale scores from a guy. These are basically the same ones I used for the PX10 conversion project, and I hacksawed off this lip and hacksawed this lip as flush with these. Went through the file and just filed these guys a little sharper. So grab your feet. And I found different dust caps for those and put them on. So maybe I will do the same constructor modified pedal setup again for my old French bike with these, because that's fun. Oh, here's the other bike Nash bar. It's got the right hardware, at least. But does anyone want just a single? And sometimes I do a fixed gear with bull horns. We put this on, a cross top in here, and this. I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's see, what else is in here? A used cassette. It is a big alloy spidered cassette. It might be all together. It might be complete. It might not be completely and totally worn out and dead. I never trust used cassettes. People are always trying to sell them. People buy used cassettes. I always think that's crazy. It's definitely a SRAM used cassette. It's definitely 10 speed. I'll at least pull it apart and look at it before I recycle it. If it's low miles, doesn't look totally worn out, I might use it. Here's another used cassette. It is missing the lock nut. Why do people not save parts? Like, I'll just throw away one thing, but I'll save the rest of it. 1227, alloy spider. No idea, it looks Shimano. Might be pretty complete. I definitely save these when I throw away the cassette sometimes, because people, yeah, I'm gonna save this cassette, but not the most important part. Here is another cassette. This looks new. Maybe he did throw in one of the new ones. I think he had an 11-speed new one too. He must not have thrown in, but this is a micro shift. It has clearly never been installed. It's got all the casting marks. It's clean. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, this is the 11-speed cassette. Maybe we did throw it in. Maybe a different 11-speed cassette I wasn't going to throw in. 11-speed Rode micro shift chrome. It's cool. I'm sure it's micro shift. I'm sure it's not very valuable. There's a couple of really funky, dirty, I'm sure totally dead chains in here. This is also one of the cool grocery panniers. Oh, there's it's got the rain cover. So this is a grocery pannier. It hooks on like a regular pannier onto your bike, and then they fold all the way up. The stuff like folds in, and they fold up. They got the snaps. They snap up so they sit flat on your back rack. You can just ignore them. You can pop them open, and they fit a grocery bag perfectly. And then it's even got a rain cover in the zipper pocket. So you put a rain cover where it was raining, and the rain cover is usually really tall, so you can have the grocery bag sticking out. Or just to keep the bag from flopping off. These are light and they're cool. I used to sell the crap out of grocery panniers like this at the shop. Because yeah, you can leave them on your bike, fold it up, no one cares, no one's going to steal them. And you can always take a grocery bag home. I love these. This is cool. I like this pannier. I'm happy. Oh my god, should we start looking at these wheels? They're already on my bed, getting everything so dirty. So these are 700C. They have almost new looking, not old and dry and cracked yet, tires. They're Maxxis Refuse 728 Maxi Shield tires. So it's a good size and a good shape. It's got an old Sun Tour freewheel on it. 6 speeds. Yeah, just generic Sanson hubs. They do not feel grindy at all. It's definitely a little loose. Probably won't put it up and give it a service. I'm not going to throw them on my wheel truing stand yet. There's not very much wear on the brake surface at all. Like at all. Not even through the ano. So if these things are round and true and have even spoke tension, fingers crossed, that'd be a nice back wheel. Maybe I should build a little roadie project. I've got enough vintage parts. I got some vintage frames. Yeah, this doesn't feel too tight. It's also, yeah, matching rim, matching hub, matching tires. Yeah, these are round and true. If the spoke nipples aren't frozen, it's a lot of ifs. A lot of ifs. That's a nice set of wheels. I should build a little roadie. Doing the set of fenders. Oh, they're, what is that stupid logo? I want to say Firestone, that's not right. Bone Trigger, that's not right. Something, but their products are usually really good. It's a little flaming Cubit logo. I've never used these fenders. They have all of their hardware. This one has definitely been on a disc brake bike. You see all the custom bends to go around. Whatever, I'll throw out my pile of used fenders that no one ever cares about and I'll never get to. Maybe I'll list them this spring for really cheap and people will be excited. One really generic... let go my ego, bud. Oh. One really generic front hybrid wheel. Bone Trigger, AT750. It is so generic-y and hybrid and black. There's a little paint on it. One spoke's got tape on it. That is never a good sign. Means someone might have tried to true it and figured out there's a real problem there. Crappy Kenda tire. This will probably end up going in the free box. I might spend 10 minutes looking at it to see if it's round and true and if there's no problems with the spokes. And maybe putting it for sale for 20 bucks. No one ever cares about mismatched front wheels. Rear wheels, yes, people always killing rear wheels. Here is another set of these cheap generic Shimano wheels. It's got the 105 lock nut on it, but on a way cheaper cassette. Maybe this is the missing lock nut for this other cassette. It's an 8-speed cassette, so I took the 10-speed off and put on this 8-speed. Probably try and use it on a different bike. There's like no brake wear at all on these things. It's kind of a nice rim. They have pretty brand new gator skin 25s. God, I get so many gator skin 25s all the time. It's hilarious. Smooth hub bearings, same thing if they're round and true with brand new tires. I got enough of these 105 parts basically. I could build a bike. Take an old frame and make it all modern and cool. Maybe. Remember. Here's the matching front. Hub feels a little tight, but most things are too tight from the factory. Like, no rim wear at all. Another brand new gator skin. I knew these gator skins cost more than what I paid for this whole lot of stuff. So yeah, we'll see if these are round and true. And it's weird, like ovally, almost bladed spokes. I don't know, so weird. So weird, man. But this is my $100 score. What do you think? Good deal? Seems like a good deal. Yeah, it's 105 stuff's kind of exciting. I could clean that up and put it on an old frame. I'm trying to think of a cool... I got that Bertoni, that old Italian race bike. Could put all of this stuff on that frame. Kind of fun. Vintage Italian bike. Modern black 105 stuff. Wouldn't be able to sell it for what I have into it. You can't even sell stuff for the labor it costs to build it anymore, but... Maybe I will, but more likely I'll just try and sell the stuff. I could use these wheels with a 9-speed cassette and these thummy shifters and the 105 stuff. And I could do riser bars. That'd be kind of cool. I don't know, lots of good parts. I'm going to save all these shifters for myself for sure. These flat bar shifters, these 9-speed shifters. Go through it. We'll see. Anyways, I'll be back tomorrow with all the stuff I got from Salvage Sales. And in case I'm perusing Craigslist or Facebook, maybe there'll even be more. So, thanks for watching. Alright, we're back. What a day, what a weekend. We got some junk. I'm going to do it kind of in reverse order because it's funnier this way. So, I drove my old Subaru station wagon, the old 2004, down to the Salvage Sales like I usually do because I get too much junk. I know if I ride my bike one day, I'm going to get like 10 times as much junk. And if I would, sometimes I drive my wagon, I know I won't get anything. It's so backwards. I wish I knew ahead of time. Today was it was a light day until this, I guess. I parked. I went to go unload the car, and this was just lying in the yard. I think it must have fallen out of the car from last week. It's a full speed ahead 5034 110 BCD chain ring. I've talked about it before. I recommend it again. If you go into sheldonbrown.com, he has like a free PDF of the chain ring bolt circle, so you can hold up your ring over the paper and it'll tell you what BCD it is. It's free. You just have to hit like actual size. There's like instructions on the thing to make sure it actually prints to true to size. I highly recommend it. I've had like 3 people on eBay buy chain rings and then return them, even though I clearly described them and said what size they were. Like in the last couple of weeks. It's like, just stop ordering. Oh, order the wrong size. Yeah, don't do that. Like, don't do that. Print out this free thing, and then you can check your chain rings forever for free. It's great. You should do it. So I got to the old Sunday salvage sales, and I got some stuff. There wasn't a lot of stuff, and people went in and attacked stuff, and everyone got stuff, and I missed all this stuff. I think 9 a.m. would deter some of us, but it doesn't. Because it's now 9 to 11, and Bike Farm is 11 still to 3 or whatever, so we waited around after the salvage sales, and I kept slowly digging and finding stuff. And we went to old Bike Farm, because I haven't been there in several weeks. Waited around till 11 and went. And at Bike Farm, I bought stuff I probably don't need. I bought these tires. So I spent $15 for all the stuff I'm about to show you at salvage sales. And then I spent $15 just on these tires at Bike Farm. So these are Pan Racer Pasela 650C by 28. So I think that's the biggest size you can get for 650C. No one deals with 650C and no one wants 650C. Why am I a wingnut? Because I still want to do the Paramount project. I just can't get excited about trying to do it stock or 600 parts. I had a bunch of 600 parts saved up, some kind of scruffy stuff, whatever. I ended up selling it to a Bike Farm kid. He has another frame he wants to build up. And he was asking me about wheels, and I'm like, yeah, I don't have any 7-speed wheels except for these Shimano 600 tricolor. Blah, blah. I was like, oh, that sounds so cool. I'm like, I got the rest of the group too, so I sold them basically the whole group for $250, which is a smoking deal. Really, I mean, if I sold my shop, I would sell those wheels for $250 by themselves. I'd sell the cranks for $40, sell the derailleurs, for $40 for the rear and $30 for the front or $15 for the front. Like whatever you can get, shifters, brake levers, all the stuff. So he got a good deal. I ended up throwing in all brand new cables and housing for him too, and throwing in a Nitto B15 bar and a Nitto stem. I'm going to miss that stem. So he got a good deal. I don't have that 600 stuff anymore. I did get a nicer set of 600 tricolor hubs. So I was like, maybe I'll just build some handmade wheels for this bike. That's 4 customers and too small and no one's going to want. But also, I got those cool Rolf 650. I bought like a whole 650C bike a while ago, and it was a Trek aluminum frame and the paint was chipping. It sucked. The parts are nice. It's all 9-speed 105 plus the Rolf 650C wheels. I'm like, maybe I should just move that stuff. It's all in good shape onto this Paramount. I also have a bunch of 600 stuff. Maybe I should move that onto the Paramount. Like, not 600, but like 9-speed Ultegra stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'll move a slightly newer group onto this old Paramount and make it like more cool. And 28 is the biggest I've ever seen for 650C wheels, and if I go with a slightly smaller wheel, they're 571s, I think, instead of 622s. So what is that? 29 plus 22 is well over 4 centimeters, so maybe about 2 centimeters smaller for your brakes. The brake track would drop about 2 centimeters. There's a lot. But I can go from a 23C tire to these 28s. I can go with medium reach brakes. It'd be cool, and maybe I can do a little more uprighty bar. Put maybe a generic silver Sagino crank on, or something with the compact double rings. Or even triple if I wanted. I think I have the 105 cranks, bottom bracket, derailleurs. I even have the brifters, which I think are ugly and boring. Be a lot cooler with like a swoopy bar and trigger shifters. I don't know. But anyways, now I have more options, so I spent $15. I also bought the stem for Avery's bike, even though we I didn't film it and I should have. Avery came over, we did some touch-ups on his bike. We swapped out a stem, we put a core stem that I got at Salvage Sales a little while ago, gloss black, big ugly mountain bike stem. And put grips on his bike and figured out what was wrong with his front brake. It was like being all weird and rubbing, and the V-brake, they were cheap V-brake pads, and someone just mangled them, so they're all totally mangled and destroyed, so they wouldn't adjust very well, and the spring tension was being weird, and we lubed them and switched the pads out, and it has one of those stupid, in the V-brake noodle, I don't remember what they were called, Shimano used to call them something, but it's basically an anti-lock braking system where you squeeze and it, like the whole V-brake noodle's got a spring in it, so it like, they're horrible, I usually throw them away, I didn't notice, so I didn't. He tested it and said he didn't mind it, so that did make him feel safer maybe, so we'll leave it for now until it bugs him. Put that core stem on, but I also got this dimension stem. It's nice and long, and it's really uprighty. Bike Farm said it's 25.4. I had one kind of almost exactly like it, but it was 26.0, so I ended up just selling it. So I have to test this, and hopefully it's 25.4, and if Avery ends up deciding he does need a little bit more bar height, I'll have this cool gloss black dimension stem for him. It's $10. Ugh, spent a lot of money on Avery's bike. He paid me back for the bike, which was $40, and he bought me lunch twice for working on it. Maybe I'll get a third lunch out of him, you never know. Let's see. And then, when we walked into Bike Farm, we also noticed this big, giant tote of toteness. It is kind of shallow doors, but really long, so great for seat posts because it's so long. I did do a check that big metal shelf I got last week that I put in my laundry room that I can put all my eBay stuff on, so they're all too close together. I need to move one shelf up like an inch and a quarter, but it's all, you know, those metal shelves, a lot of perforated holes, so you can move wherever you want. So move one shelf, so then stuff this dude in there, and then maybe I'll put eBay stuff in here because I still only have like big boxes. So I have all my headsets in a little drawer out here, some eBay, some not eBay. All my seat posts, some eBay, some not eBay, like still pretty mixed up. A lot of small parts. Maybe I'll turn this into small parts and seat posts, probably 27.2 seat posts, other size seat posts, headsets, chainring bolts, you know, little stuff to get all organized. I don't think I broke my laptop. So that's the Bike Farm stuff. So before Bike Farm, we did the CCC Salvage Sales, and there's some stuff, and a lot of guys, you know, bought a lot of stuff again, and I went right to the free box because I saw this walled basket. It is a larger walled basket in black. It's got the hooks, and it's got the little danglers. It does not have the stays, but I know I have an extra couple sets of stays. I think they're only in silver, but I don't really care. I'll mismatch some stuff. It's a little bit mangled in this corner, but I can do some auto body work here and get it out. No one else was carried because it has a junk rack on it that is zip tied to and wired to, and it has an abandoned U-lock on it. Everyone's like, oh, you know how to cut those off? It's like, yeah, dude, I've cut hundreds of these off. Around a bike shop next to the college. I charge college kids $50 to come cut the U-lock. I make them prove to me it was their bike with like photos on their phone or them riding it, or if they had the key. Usually they break the key off in cheap U-locks. I walk over there and cut through these with an angle grinder, so no big deal. For free skis, for a nice big wall basket, usually $10 or $20, I'll cut this lock off. It's cool. I want it. I love it. I also, at the end, when we were standing around waiting, they had a set of PDW, like a big PDW cardboard with just the front fender, no hardware, but it did have the mud flaps in there, and I wanted them, so I just tore the box around it. Got the mud flaps. I got a nice little set of PDW mud flaps. I likes them. So let's look at what I got. Carl did the thing again where he brought out a couple big boxes of unprocessed stuff, but nothing too great this time. I got a couple of Wing Nutty tubes. They are the Rubinas, and they are 25 to 35 559s. So 26 by 1 to 1.5. It's a little bit of a weird size. They did have a really mint condition set of 26 by 125 tires. I should have got, if they're there next week and there's nothing else better, I might get them and just put them right onto the Bridgestone Owners Bunch. It's a Facebook group, and I think it's also like a Google group, if you don't know about that. And it's all the guys are the old Bridgestones, and a lot of the cool old Exos, the XO1s and 2s and 3s were like a road city bike that took 26-inch wheels, and people run a lot of 26 1 1/4s and stuff on those. So a nice set of tires and a nice set of tubes. Someone might want on there if I can get a reasonable deal. I found this at the end. Somebody else grabbed it and then threw it back. So I found it was on a big ugly seat. I took the seat off. I just dug around their bin, so I found a 6. It's an old Sakai TCO Sport 6061 alloy seat post. It's 26.8, yeah, 28.6, which is a really good common old size for Japanese bikes. You know, it's glossy black, it's Sakai, it's old, it's cool. I don't know, I guess it's worth $2 a pound. I always say never get used cassettes, and they had 5 million used cassettes. I was bored and I want one. This one has a big alloy spider, and I was kind of eyeballing it, and it doesn't look totally dead. I'll clean it off first. But it's real light, and it's real complete, and it's definitely a Shimano one. I don't know if I might be able to clean all the dirt off and be able to read it, but it also might be too sun-faded. It really looks like an XT to me. An XT 9-speed is what I'm guessing. You can tell by the giant alloy spider with all the little rings riveted to it. So that'd be cool if it was. I have so many 9-speed shifters. The kid who bought all my 600 stuff yesterday was asking if I had any of these pedals, and I said, oh, I don't have any right now. And they had a set there, so I grabbed them. They were kind of older, kind of well used and a little rusty and crusty. Shimano pedals with the flat on one side and the SPD on the other. I grabbed them. In case he wants them, I'll sell them to him for, I mean, for 2 or 3 pounds. I probably paid $5 or $6. I'll sell them to him for that. They had nothing cool in the stem, so I grabbed this Wing Nutty stem. HIGOL? I don't know. Chrome, the top cap's nice. I have one I got like this there a while ago, and was super bummed out because it's got a 26.4 clamp, like for Chinelli. It's probably really supposed to be 26, so I stretched or something stupid. I'm hoping this one's 25.4. I'm hoping. If it is, I will definitely use it on something because it's kind of pretty and it's chromed and chromo and it's got stuff. It says 22.2. It says insert. It says minimum. It says Taiwan. But it doesn't say what the bar clamp is, which is the most important. Hardest to tell thing. Well, I got everything else in the world stamped on it but that. This is kind of fun. So they still had some boxes of just straight recycling on the truck. And so BMX Gary went and peeked his head in. And they had some broken Dior 7-speed thummies, which I like. It's got one good barrel adjuster. It's got both the little plastic guides, which are good. I got a set the other day that has one of these missing, so that's amazing. And the lever bodies look good. The hardware looks good. Like, so this is a good part set, maybe? I mean, sure seems nice. This cap was missing when I dug around and found it. So I can super glue this back on. It's really falling apart. You know, I'll take the cap off a different one. Probably take the barrel adjuster off a dead one. But really, I wanted this black plastic thing for ones I got the other day off a whole bike. So parts. Good parts that you commonly use all the time, like vintage shifters like this. I always buy these Dior shifters. I was buying bikes for them. Why not have some broken ones sitting around? They're not really in the way if they've got all the right bolts and hardware and non-rusty parts, and you can switch and swap stuff. So that's cool. I found them in somebody else's recycling. What else? I did not get that much. Found one brand new cable and housing. It's a piece of Shimano M system brake housing with a cable in it. Whatever, it's brand new. One tool. This is an ISIS crank removal tool. I have one that I bought brand new. I think I might have got another one of these used and really beat up. This is a used one in like mint condition. I don't know. I barely ever do that stuff, but I want it. Found one stem. I think it's 1-inch. Threadless, silver. It's kind of long. Nice for a Portour bar or cruiser bars. Still some 1-inch stuff out there. A little bit of rise, or it could be pretty flat. I don't know. It's not worth anything. No one cares. I don't know why I got it. 1-inch threadless is so hard to find, so I keep hoarding it. Someone else got out a bin of like derailleur, Brazon derailleur adapters, and they missed this. It's a chrome Suntour vintage 70s cable stops. This clamps onto your down tube, so you have your bar and shifters dead into it. So it's kind of like down tube shift adapters, but for a full-on clamp-on. I love these things. Can't have enough of those. I always don't have one or need one. Found a tire boot. It's probably too old to use. Found one headlight mount that may or may not fit a headlight that I got the other day. Doesn't have the mount. Found one rear hub. It is a Dior LX. I think this is 8-speed, but it might be 7-speed. I'll have to check. M565 Dior LX black. I don't know. I like this black Dior LX stuff. And it always seems to sell. It's kind of cool. It's the only vintage black mountain bike stuff. Oh yeah, it's definitely 8-speed. It's only internally threaded. So it can fit 8, 9, or 10-speed cassettes. Got this one thing, somebody else grabbed it and then didn't care and threw it back. So I grabbed it, and it is a stem. It's 1.1" silver, long, threadless stem. It's not very scuffy. This is totally nice for, you know, putting your big cruiser bars onto your bike. Because as the bars get bigger and come way back, you need a longer stem to sort of make up for it, and it'll help it steer a little bit better too. Shorty stems and far back bars make your bike steer squirrely. What else? There's one set of these Eagle 2 pads. Grab those. One double-sided screwdriver bit, Phillips number 2, the most common size I use all the time. But that's it, man. Like, pretty light on the old Community Cycling Center Sunday Salvage Sales, except for the heaviest bit. Oh yeah, one wrench. I grabbed one Allen wrench because it's Park 8mm and labeled Park at 8mm, and I don't know. So I put all this stuff in the basket to check out. You know, they weigh it. He looks like 15 pounds, and he's like, so hey. I'm like, what? He's like, we need a counter person. We need somebody like knows compatibility and knows interchange stuff. He's like, you know more than anybody else here. You know more than I do about bikes. And I was like, that's probably not true. About a lot of stuff, at least. It might be true. It really might be true. It's just horrifying. I remember I didn't know anything. And I knew all the guys knew all the most stuff. And most of those guys don't even work in the bike industry at all anymore, let alone at CCC. And he's like, hey, you want to work part-time? Like noon to 5, Friday, Saturday, Sundays? $24 an hour. And I was like, under the table. He's like, no, we can't do that. And he's like, I might be able to get you a parts allowance. He's like, we don't do parts allowance for any other part-time positions. I think the parts allowance is like $200 a month of used parts. He's like, you can spend that here at the salvage sales and it'll really go far. And I was like, whoa. But I probably wouldn't. I'd probably spend it at the shop where the nice stuff is. So I can get some nice stuff for some projects. My old partner from Kenton Cycle Repair, he worked at Community Cycling Center for like 10 years. He got that parts allowance. But back then it was like $400 or $500 annually. So the guys do is just stuff their locker full of the parts they want. At the end of the year, and their allowance came in, they'd go check out and buy it all. And so we take it home in paper bags. And when we started Kenton Cycles, I'm like, yeah, this is all the stuff I have. I was showing him my stuff. He came over to my house. I did a big swap meet to do a fundraiser to raise money to start Kenton Cycles. And he came over and he sold and he had good stuff and he made dough. I made like $600. Everybody else made like $100. He made like $1,600. I'm like, dude, you want to start a shop with me? I know you live in Kenton. I found this spot in Kenton. Let's start this bike shop. Come start a shop with me. I talked him into it, shockingly. He's like, oh, I have been thinking about that. But we went to his house and he opened his garage, and his garage was just hundreds and hundreds of paper grocery bags, covering every inch of the floor, covering every inch of shelf. And they were just him cleaning out his locker for his used parts allowance from CCC. So I'm like, do you have any freewheels? He's like, I got a lot of good freewheels. I'm like, where? He's like, in these bags. Because nothing was organized. It was just stuff he thought was cool. And he'd been hoarding them for years and years and years, which was great when he started a bike shop. I had a good collection of used parts, and he had a way better collection of used parts. It was insane. I think we did an inventory or something. I'm like, I got like $1,000 of used parts. He's like, I got like $6,000 of used parts at like, you know, lowish, middle-ish, you know, price, what we can sell them for. It was pretty wild. So I get a used parts allowance. I was like, oh, I don't want to come work part-time. It's like 5-hour shifts, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like noon to 5. My dog can handle 5 hours off. My favorite roommate, he has the weekends off, so he's always around. I can let her out and play with her and stuff. He loves her, so I'm like, okay. I mean, that's pretty good. I'm going to go to the salvage sale in the morning anyways, then go get lunch, then go work at the bike shop. You know, it gives me an excuse Fridays and Saturdays. At least one day a week I talk myself into probably trying to do both Fridays and Saturdays, ride my bike up there. It's a half-hour bike ride from here, 35 minutes. It's kind of all uphill, but whatever. I need to ride my bike more. So I get a couple of good bike rides in every week. I can always drive when I'm lazy or need to pick something big up or move something. And always known I was going to work at the CCC eventually. Assumed I'd just wait until they were desperate and hire me as a director position or something paid so much I couldn't say no. And wouldn't mind suffering for a few years or decades. And I keep thinking about moving back to the neighborhood anyways. This might help if I do that. Some friend of a friend was telling me he found a house and wanted me to move in, but then went, radio silent, so I don't know. But found a 2-bedroom with a big garage and a yard, a fenced yard, and almost affordable price range. And it's way, way, way closer. It's maybe 10 blocks past the CCC, so who knows, that could come up. My sister's old apartment was only 5 or 6 blocks past there, and it was 11 for a 2-bedroom with a living room apartment. It's like half price in this town. Often thought about just doing that, turn the whole living room into a bike shop, turn my bedroom into a bedroom, and have the second bedroom for like a living room. A little small, just a love seat and a TV and my books or something. So I don't know. Our landlord's got our house up for sale, but then no one cared. He took it down, and the market's flooded, and it's overpriced, and things are slowing down. So maybe we'll be here for a while longer. But yeah, this is my stuff. Oh, I want to say I did get a parts washer for $20. I've been looking for one for a while. They're always like $80. They're always like an hour drive. They're always like in the sticks and the suburbs and the white trash areas where everybody's working on their cars, which is who I am. And I don't know why I live so close in, because I want to ride bikes everywhere. After $20, I went and got $20 worth of parts cleaner. I just use Simple Green. It's mostly-ish non-toxic, I'm definitely getting allergic to it. And it's not a big deal. This is a regular household degreaser. It works good in bike parts. It doesn't mess up the anode. It doesn't strip the logos off. It's nice. You still shouldn't leave stuff in there. I know if you leave it in like overnight, it can make the aluminum start to corrode. So I never leave stuff in there for longer than I'm cleaning it. Just do not leave stuff in the parts washer when you're not working on it. So I went and did 2 giant loads. I did 3 boxes. I have 3 or 4 tear down bikes, a bunch of parts I got from Salvage Sales that were just really dirty. I didn't want to clean by hand. And I went and spent like 2 hours scrubbing everything in the old parts washer. I got a bunch of brushes and pipe cleaners, and it came out really good. I still have to do the rear derailleurs by hand. I still have to take the 2 bolts out and clean the pulleys and clean the inside the cages, but it's not a big deal. Put a little lube in, put them back together, make them nice. But everything else kind of cleans up in one shot. So I did that, parts washer, all my stuff after I cleaned it. I should have showed it all piled up in there. It's got like a little spray nozzle arm and stuff. Like, it's cool. So it's always blasting them and making foam and soaking your parts while you work. Leave everything else in there soaking until I'm ready for it. Scrap that. That's got half of my parts clean. Maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, I'll go and clean another big giant box of parts from months ago. I don't remember what's in there. All my Campy Record stuff and TPO stuff and a bunch of other stuff. I'll go scrub all that. But after this video, I don't know, I gotta work on my Terry. The handlebars slipped real bad the other day. Gotta see if I can do something about that, or switch those bars, or switch the stem, which is probably what ought to happen. Probably ought to put this stem on and some cruiser bars, probably. And then maybe I should start that Paramount with the 650C conversion, make it real wing nutty. Or I don't know, start one of the other several projects I have in storage, which I forgot to clean out. Tomorrow's the 1st, I'm going to pay for it again. It's got another month to get around to cleaning it up. I got 3 more projects in there. I have a Centurion or something, I don't remember what, like a teal with white logos. I think I'm going to put all the white single-speed stuff on. I have the Novara Randonnée in my size I'd like to build up into a city tour bike. Maybe even make that my camping bike, because it's basically an old touring bike. I got all Dior XT for that. I'm making a 1x Dior XT cruiser bar touring bike. But I'll probably put that big Soma front rack on. I'm trying to talk myself into getting the frame, fork, and that rack powder coated. The powder coater is sometimes a dick and charges you $150 to do the rack. You're like, dude. So I don't know. And $150 to do the frame. It's been 5 years. It's probably gone up since then. Getting good, inexpensive powder coat is hard to find in this town. It used to be $30 to do a bike here, and then people figured out they could charge more for bikes. Now they're more expensive. Now my bike powder coater, I even asked him about some wheels a while ago. I was going to powder coat the wheels for my truck, and he's like, oh yeah, like 125 per wheel. I'm like, what? It used to be like $100 for all four. Jesus, powder doesn't cost anything. Powder coat labor is not that much. Like Jesus Christ, so expensive. I mean, the price of having the wheels sandblasted and then repainted and then mounting and balancing the tires since I got them was more than the cost of buying brand new chrome, like 1950 style wheels for my car. And they did free mounting and balancing if you bought the wheels and the tires. So it ended up being cheaper to buy brand new chromed wheels, plus having them do the mounting and balancing for free, because I bought the tires from them too, than it was to have a nice old set of wheels powder coated. Figure it out, man. Oh, I skipped one thing. At the very end of Salvage Sales, when I thought there's nothing else left and I was just peeking around, I found an old logo Chinelli bar and stem. And it's not too long. It's probably 90 or 100 or something, but I'm still getting $45 for these old logo stems, and if this bar is not bent, I'll probably get $35 for it. It does have some marks here. You probably have like a little handlebar bag or something hanging over the front, so I might get $35 if they're not bent, and if they are, then I won't even bother trying to sell them. Okay, that's it for this weekend scores videos. I'm excited about my big Rubbermaid thing. I have like 10 of these big Rubbermaid things now for keeping all my parts organized. It's nice. I found little sleeve stickers, little clear ones, so I can write down what's in there and slide a little tag in the sticker, which is nice. So it's really easy to move stuff around and change it. But that's my video. Thanks for watching.